Hi everybody, welcome to BI Land. Today we are going to see an interesting and very useful subject. Imagine you have time slicer in your report like month. What if you want to select a specific month and you want your chart like bar chart to show the results from the beginning of the year up to that month, meaning that in your x-axis you will see the name of month from the beginning of the year that the selected month is in, up to the selected month itself. As a bonus, I will also show you if we select January, it will show from January of the previous year. This will be a step up in your DAX, and according to my real business experience, there will be many times you will need this kind of calculations. So stay with me and let's begin. Okay, let's get right into it. So we want to have a timeline here and we select a month and then our chart to show the data from beginning of the year up to that month. I'm going to use timeline here, which is a custom visual. If you want to get this, you need to go to the Microsoft App Source and then search for timeline. And it is Power BI certified, so you download it and then you do the import into your Power BI report. For doing that, you can just click here and import from a file, and then you click import and you go select where the file is downloaded. I use this instead of using this slicer, which is default in visuals here, because I find it better to select month or quarter, etc. Okay, let's see. Imagine we didn't know how to do it. What we would do normally, we would bring a timeline here. So I bring my visual timeline here to select month from my timeline. And for that, I would bring date from my calendar. Now I have the possibility to select month from this timeline. And then I would bring a bar chart here. And in my bar chart, I bring my oil production. And in the axis, I would bring month name. Please watch our previous video if you don't know how to create month name in your calendar, etc. Now it's showing for all different years and it's summing up for each month. I'm going to choose only from this year, from January to November. Now you see that my bar chart shows oil that has been studied in our department is this much. This, you see, is showing what is selected in our timeline. But if I select September, it's only going to show me September. If I select August, it's going to show me the August. What I want is that if I select August, to show me from January to August. If I select April, to show me from January to April. This is our goal. Let's see how we can do it. Definitely, you can understand that we cannot use the same calendar for this axis because this is going to be automatically filtering it. And at the same time, we want this to be used because at the end, it's in this timeline that I am choosing months. So I cannot just come here and then select the interaction and then get the interaction out of this one because finally, I need this to be somehow used. It's not that I totally don't use this calendar. So I need to find another way to bypass this problem, that at the same time I use this calendar and also for my x-axis to be able to not consider this selection. And why we would do that? You might ask that why we just don't choose like this. It is true that we can choose like this, but sometimes you have other visuals and you don't want to choose this time slicer. Imagine you have another chart here, and in this chart you are required to only choose August month. So it's the business requirement that wants this. So it wants to choose only 1 month because there are other charts that are based on only 1 month, but there is a specific bar chart that the business wants from the January up to that month. And for that reason, we are trying to understand how we can do this. Clearly, we cannot use the same calendar for timeline and also the chart. For that, I'm going to create the second calendar. So if I create a new table and call it, let's say, pseudo calendar, and I'm only going to say it's equal to calendar. Now I have my second calendar. And what we're gonna do is that I'm going to create a relationship between this calendar and this calendar. But I'm going to make this relationship inactive and use it when I need it. So I bring it here. If I can make a bit of space here. This was our calendar. Now I'm going to make it date and date. And I'm going to, we can make it one-to-many. One-to-many, single direction, and also this relationship, I'm going to make it inactive. Okay, so this is only a copy of this calendar. Now our goal is to use in this one, this calendar, the second pseudo calendar. But the problem is that I can't just use it because I need to use the calendar inside the measure because there is no relationship. In fact, there's relationship, but it's not active. And for that, how we are going to create the measure that takes into account this calendar and also takes into account the fact that we want from the January of the beginning of the year up to the selected month. The kernel of our measure is going to be a function index that's called DATESINPERIOD. Basically, DATESINPERIOD provides us a column of dates starting from a specific date and ending in a specific date in a certain intervals. I'm going to start creating measure and I'm going to call it production, but for chart. I'm going to use variables. It's much easier. My first variable I want to know because for DATESINPERIOD you provide a date and then you provide number of intervals that you want your end date to be. For that I need to know how many months I need to go backwards or forward so that my DATESINPERIOD provides me the column of the dates between the two. So my first variable is going to be number of months. And it is going to be, for the time being, I'm going to make it simple. And as a bonus point, I'm going to redo the calculation to consider the fact that when we are in January, we show from the January of the previous year up to January of this year. Now I'm only going to say minus because our intervals we want to go backwards, which means that if I choose a month like August, I want to go a certain number of months backwards and start from January. That's why I'm going to put minus a negative number because my intervals I want to go backward. And I'm going to use month function. Basically, month function returns me, as it says here, number from 1 to 12. And imagine we have chosen March. For March, it's going to bring me 3. And it's going to now, by this minus here, bring me minus 3. Means that when I choose month of March, it's going to provide me in my axis from January because it's going to go 3 months before and then show January, February, and March. To know that already we have seen this. To know that what date we are selecting, we can use max function. Max function actually only gives me the selected date in my timeline, max of calendar. This is normal calendar, and I'm going to use calendar date. Here, if I choose April, it's going to give me number -4, etc. My second variable is going to be reference date. My reference date is the date that I'm selecting in my timeline, which, as I said, we use just max function and calendar. This only means that which date I have selected. My third variable, so I'm going to just call it previous dates, and I'm going to use DATESINPERIOD. So DATESINPERIOD returns dates from the given period. I'm going to use now, because dates in period going to be the dates that we are providing for our chart. This variable is providing the dates that we are going to use in our chart, because in our chart we are going to use our pseudo calendar. Here I'm going to choose also pseudo calendar. So in my pseudo calendar date, I'm going to give a start date, which is reference date, which is the date that I chose, like April. And for the intervals, I want to go number of months, because it's negative, it's gonna go backward. And the intervals that I want is months, because my chart is going to show per month. And this is my third variable. And then I'm going to put another variable, we can call it var out, is only going to be calculate. So we want to calculate oil production, but this time we want to take the filters, because for now we have our calculation, these are just variables in our output calculation. We want to have oil production, but we want to remove filters coming from the calendar. So I'm going to say remove filters from calendar, our main calendar, but keep filters from the dates that I provide here. So in our output calculation, I want oil production. I don't want to keep filters from calendar date, because in that case, it's going to only show 1 month. So I remove filters from that calendar, but I'm keeping filters from the dates that I have created here. So it is just previous date. And then I use relationship to activate the relationship that I have between the calendar and pseudo calendar. And it's going to be pseudo calendar date and calendar date. Alt enter, Alt enter. I'm going to just make this variable a little bit down so that it's better. It's our calculation. I'm going to return out. So now our calculation, this output calculation, is calculating the oil production. It is removing the filters coming from timeline, which means that when I choose April, it is not only considering April, however, it is used to calculate our dates that we want to show in our chart. It is true that this date in our production is not bringing the filter from the timeline into my chart, but the date selected in our timeline is used to create another set of dates through this variable to provide for my calculation. So that's why I remove the filters from my calendar, but I take filters that I have created inside this variable to provide to this calculation. And also we need to use the relationship between the two calendars. So if I hit enter, so this time in my chart, I'm going to take this out, because this is from our normal calendar. I'm going to bring from this calendar our month's name, and in our measure, I'm only going to bring our new measure. So I'm going to take this out. I'm going to bring production from our new calendar. Then we can sort this by month's name. We see that it's not sorted correctly. We need to go to our calendar in pseudo calendar and say that sort month's name. We need to sort this column by month number. We have already seen this in other videos. Please watch those videos to know how to sort the month name and lots of other things. I highly recommend you to watch my video on calendar. You will see how we create this exhaustive calendar. Here I'm going to choose sending. So I have chosen August, and my chart is showing me from January to August. If I choose May, it is showing from January to May, and etc. February, only February. November, from January to November. As a bonus point, let's say if we choose January, it's only going to show me January. But what if business wants to show, in a case that I choose January, it shows me from January of the previous year, only for the case of January. February, I only want 2 months, but if January is chosen, I show from the previous year. So we can change this in our calculation. Instead of the number of months, I can put a condition here. I can say if this calculation, if this number of months, I can copy it. If this number of months is equal to -1, which means January, which means I go 1 month ago. If this calculation brings me January, in that case, I am going to choose -13, which means that I go 13 months ago to start my date in period, right? So if my month is January, if selected month, this only says that if selected month is January, go 13 months back, which means that going from 13th, because we have 2 Januaries. If not, only take into account the number of months to go back from the selected date. If I hit enter, now you're gonna see that January is selected, so it starts from January. And if I choose February, it's only January to February. If I choose January, now there's only one thing we need to modify, is that this January actually is the January of the previous year and also this year. So for that reason, instead of using month here, I'd better use month year. So I'm going to choose not only the name of month, but I'm going to use name of year and month. So instead of using month name, I'm going to use year and month. And then also we need to sort it correctly. We are going to use this sort by months, but it still is not sorted correctly. I'm going to choose here year month, sort by column, sort year month. Again, if you don't know how to sort year months, please watch my video on calendar. And then we come here and we need to make it ascending. It starts from January 2020 up to December and then January 2021. And if I choose March, it's only going to show me from January to March of the same year. So by doing this, we achieved our goal. I'm just gonna change a little bit how this presents itself here. Okay, here if we want our timeline to show only last 2 years, we can bring the year in our filters. Here I'm going to do basic filtering, but if you want it to be dynamic, you can choose top N and filter it according to the year, and you choose top 2 years. Okay, that's all for this video. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If so, like this video and put your comments. Don't forget to watch my other video on mastering calendar. Please subscribe to my channel for the coming videos. Until then, good luck. Bye bye.